Hi class. Today we are going to be talking about one of the most prominent events that happened in what we call the Reconstruction era. That is the era post-Civil War in America, where the country was absolutely torn apart and we had a completely polarized nation with their own agendas, and we had the Republicans working hard to reconstruct the South and bring equal rights and justice to former slaves and African Americans. We are talking about the Freedmen's Bureau, one of America's first yet sort of brief but very major steps towards the gradual acceptance and rights and equality for African Americans post-slavery. Some background. So in 1865, America was absolutely politically torn apart between Republicans who wanted to work hard to reconstruct the nation into a place where everyone born on U.S. soil and freedmen had rights and freedoms. So this was against the Democrats, largely in the South, who wanted to continue to profit off of the same pro-slave policies that kept them going for this long. So under President Lincoln, in his last year before his assassination, the Congress, which was mainly made up of Republicans, were able to establish the Freedmen's Bureau. On page 412 of the textbook, the Freedmen's Bureau is described as an effort to ease the transition from slavery to freedom. Congress appointed Congressman Oliver Otis Howard as the Bureau's commissioner, who, according to the National Government Archives, was able to establish 15 different bureaus in 15 states, many of which were former slave-owning regions. Because these states were made up of many powerful racist Southerners, you can imagine the tension that came from establishing a progressive anti-slavery organization in states that economically flourished from slavery. Despite the targeted aggression towards the Bureau, textbook page 412 describes how they were able to still deliver food to freed people, help them gain fair labor contracts, reunite families that were torn apart by slavery, and a massive one was establish schools that freed people could attend. This was massive. These efforts challenged long-withstanding hierarchies that dominated the U.S. The new president following Lincoln was President Andrew Johnson, and he was from the South and a Democrat himself, so he had some conflicting interests, and he did not consider the reconstruction of the South to be a major priority. Textbook page 413 says Johnson denied the government had a large role to play in the freedmen's rights and equality. Although Congress renewed the Bureau for another year, Johnson vetoed that renewal. This further fed into the hostilities that were already there between Congress and the president, as well as the general polarization within the American government. The Freedmen's Bureau was very much underfunded and didn't have many staff or support, so it was unfortunately completely dismantled in 1872. And although it was brief, it was an example of just how much governmental and ideological differences there were during the times of Reconstruction. The Daily Dose channel on YouTube described the Freedmen's Bureau as an awakening in African Americans through the principles of equality that would later blossom into the civil rights movement of 1954 through 68. The Freedmen's Bureau is also an example about how ideological and societal shifts come very often with resistance. When a society is rooted in something that benefits a powerful class of people, efforts to evolve and make things fair will often be met with aggression, radicalism, and violence from that class. That's how terror organizations like the Ku Klux Klan come to be. In conclusion, the years following the Civil War involved extreme tensions surrounding what to do with this destroyed America, as well as the rights and freedoms for the freed people. This motivated Republicans to make a change, and the Freedmen's Bureau was a major first step towards an anti-slave America. Although it was dismantled and met with a large amount of hostility, the Freedmen's Bureau foreshadowed wider efforts civil rights movements would make in the years to come, whether it be desegregation, voting rights, or the larger fight for an equal America. Thank you very much.